What's up everybody? I took 4 of the best weapons currently in Grounded 2 and put them to the test versus Axel, the toughest boss right now. So how would they do? And where would they rank? If you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below which of these weapons you are using the most to fight Axel. Alrighty, let's get into it. We begin with the spicy Coaltana. It has 54.6 damage, but only 5 stun. Now if you're thinking that low stun could be troublesome, well it kinda was. It also didn't help that it was my first time using the Coaltana. I literally just made it right before the fight. But I took out Axel with the Mantis Sword back when Harry and Scary first dropped, so I felt comfortable using another one. Oh, all weapons have been upgraded to level 3 by the way, and I ran Mantis Armor and the Voltaic Capacitor as my trinket, and all mutations are level 3. The first big problem is the Coaltana of course does spicy damage. According to Wiki, Axel has minus 65% reduction on sizzle buildup. But as we can see on its creature card, spicy isn't listed. So it could be that he's resistant to the buildup but not the damage. And as we can see in the video, it is building up a little bit, but it doesn't appear to be doing much. It keeps going away too quickly. Another downside is that the Coaltana, of course, is a two-handed weapon, so you can't use your shield. That is 80% damage reduction versus 100% with a shield. That also means you can't use the small shields for the stun bonus. The sword mutation is a little bit meh as well. Yeah, it does reduce some damage. The 90% reduction in exhaustion is also nice. I don't know about you, but sometimes I swing away like a maniac, so I tend to run out of stamina a lot. That mutation didn't really seem to help much, but it's probably a me problem, right? Honestly, I thought the 5 stun was the biggest issue. Unlike most of the park, fighting Axel is more about stuns than crit hits. The sooner you get him stunned, the quicker he gets to the next phase. Nonetheless, I was able to take Axel out in, I think, like 8 minutes. That's not too shabby with a weapon with a 5 stun. The key was the damage. The Coaltana does slap.
This will kill.
Next up, we have the new Axel's Talon. It does 52 damage, but yet another weapon with only 5 stun. I almost didn't test it because of that, and also because it is stabbing damage. Axel is 50% resistant to it, and the Talon's venom attack is basically tickling him. But Axel's Talon is one-handed, so a small shield can add more stun potential. Unfortunately, this isn't an optimal loadout test, so I used the Aegis shield for both this one and the Pinchwhacker, which we'll get to in a little bit. And if you want to see an optimal loadout test versus Axel, I'm down. Let me know in the comments. One thing I am not really sure about is the Spear mutation Javelineer, specifically the reflecting damage back to the opponent part. If you block, does that count too, or only damage that is not blocked? The rest of the mutation isn't really helpful either. We ain't throwing the spear, that's for sure. And the 30% damage boost to charge attacks? I don't think you could use a charge attack enough for that to matter in this fight. When Axel is stunned, you only have a limited amount of time to do damage before he becomes temporarily invulnerable. You will do more damage swinging away instead of charging up an attack. Anywho, the Talon surprised me, and I'm sure it was the speed that did it. It was able to stack the stun almost as well as the other weapons in this video because it was so fast.
So I got that going.
And despite everything against it, the Axel's Talon took down the giant tarantula in just under 8 minutes. That was pretty fast for a weapon with so many things Axel is resistant to.
It will kill.
Up next is the other sword on this list, the Mantis Blade. It has the highest damage at almost 60, along with 6 stun, so we're moving up there a little bit. By the way, if you want to see the full version of almost all these fights, the VOD of that live stream is linked in the description below. I really like the Mantis Blade. It's a fun sword to use, but like the spicy Coaltana, it's a sword. That damn Blade Master mutation. And we don't get to use a shield either. But we do have a sword that hits like a truck, and it isn't as slow as a club, with the respectable 6 stun too. The funny thing is the Mantis Blade is the only one of these weapons without some kind of perk. Although to be fair, those perks aren't exactly moving the needle. So what would be a good perk for it? Maybe an additional 10 to 15 chopping damage during attacks? Since the Praying Mantis does chopping damage as one of its attacks, I think it makes sense for the weapon to do that as well. Axel went down, by the way, in about 8 minutes with the Mantis Blade. I think I could have gotten it down to maybe 7 minutes or so. I spent a lot of time early in that match not hitting Axel much, just flailing away.
This will kill.
Last but not least is the Pinchwhacker. It has the lowest damage on this list at 42.9, but it has a ridiculous 7 stun. The only other weapons that do more than that are the Ant Club and the War Hammerlet Club with 9 stun. You want to fight Axel with those weapons? I don't. And the Pinchwhacker is one-handed, so a small shield could add another 2 stun with perfect blocks if you want to go optimal. Let's be real here, this is the most OP weapon, not only on the list, but in the game right now, despite the lower damage. Yeah, it got nerfed, but that was an AoE nerf. And the Smasher mutation got a buff to do more damage to stunned creatures. I do think that mutation is what puts the Pinchwhacker over the top. 3 more stun and 25 more stunned damage? It really is like that. Even fighting Axel. The kicker is the damage is generic, so nothing in the park is resistant to it. Although that also means nothing is weak to it either. But at the end of the day, I'll take a weapon that is even Steven in that area. It means you don't really need to take a second weapon aside from a bow to pull. It can go up against everything. I mean, it is the meta. For now, the winter update does unlock tier 3 resources, so who knows if we get something more powerful in a few months. And we have no idea if we'll be able to get orc receivers in the future, so the whacker might not be long for this earth. Anyway, back to Axel. The Pinchwhacker took him out in around 6 minutes, and that is with letting him eat everything after the second phase. Hands down, it was the fastest to stun and the fastest to take him down.
It will kill.
So, how do all 4 of these weapons rank? I think the main lesson here is that all of them are solid enough to beat Axel, so it's nice to have a bunch of options for different playstyles. Heck, I even tested out the Crimson Avenger because of the increased damage versus spiders. It was rough, and it took forever compared to these 4. I think it was like 12 minutes to get him down, but it did get him down eventually. As far as the 4 I tested, I would rank the Spicy Coaltana 4th. It was the slowest to take down Axel. The Mantis Blade was 3rd. Axel's Talon is 2nd. Why did I put the Talon above the Mantis? It's a little quicker to the stuns, but it's a close 2nd and 3rd, believe me. And of course, the Pinchwhacker is numero uno. Like I said earlier, it is hands down the best weapon in the game right now, especially versus Axel. So there we go, peeps. All 4 weapons tested and ranked. If you have a different rank of your own, drop them in the comments and we can talk about it. And thank you to the Crusha Club members. I appreciate your support, and if you want to help out as well, it's only 99 cents a month. Click the membership tab on my channel's homepage to join. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day.